Alrighty. So, yes, here we are today, the 4th of January, 2023. And we tend to think of January and the new year as a time of beginning and to begin things or begin new things. And we make resolutions and we turn over new leaves. I don't tend to do any of those things, but this year I am. I actually decided to start a keto diet. And I was very blessed that I was using an app and it asked me to state my why I was doing it. And the first why is I don't like my belly jiggling when I walk down the stairs. And then they ask you to go deeper and to go deeper and to go deeper. And I am so grateful for that because I realized that being addicted to sugar and carbs, which I adore, and there's nothing wrong with them. But when I feel compelled to pursue them, and I feel like I don't have any choice, and I recognize I don't feel free. And freedom is so much about what the spiritual path is about, that we're not held back by any certain thing. We're freed up to move. So what I want to reinforce today here is that our doing arises out of our being. And how you are being is completely reflected in how you do what you do or in what you do. So if we are scattered and stressed, it tends to be reflected in our physical outward being. If we are mindful and centered, most people, if they were watching us from the outside, could notice that we're mindful and centered. So how we do depends on how we are. So Rumi comments on this in his poem, The Beauty We Love. He says, today, like every other day, we wake up empty and frightened. We thought this one was an issue of being 20th and 21st century people, but he lived in the 1200 or 1100 somewhere. And he says, today, like every other day, we wake up empty and frightened. Open the door to the study and begin reading. Take down a musical instrument. Let the beauty we love be what we do. There are hundreds of ways to kneel and kiss the ground. So the experience of beauty, the experience, how it feels in our being, is very close to the feeling of love. So I invite you to take a moment and remember a time when you were experiencing beauty. And to see what that feels like in your body, in your heart. And then to also remember a time when you experience love. It may be you loving. It may be you being loved. And then shift this just a little bit. And I'm going to ask you to recall a time, maybe the same time, but the shift is in the language that you are in beauty. So trying to let that sense that I am here and beauty is there fall away, but that somehow you are in that beauty. Maybe noticing the edges of what you consider your own being fall away, and you can just meld with what's beautiful to you. And then do the same thing for love. That you are in love. So the beauty we love. The beauty that is love. And this is not rare. It's not occasional. If we know how to become present to it, love, beauty, grace, truth, they will show themselves to us all the time. And of course, the way we approach that is first of all, being present. And second of all, surrendering, letting go of our own agendas, needing it to be any certain way. And when we do that, love and beauty flows out of everything we do. Love and beauty are present no matter what we do. We just walk around blind to it. But when we become present to it, we can actually become a channel. We can become melded with that beauty and love and amplify it into our world. So in this poem, when Rumi says, take down a musical instrument, the musical instrument is actually our very existence. So we can take down a book and read about our existence. And most of us have done that. We've learned a lot over our lifetime about many things. And now it's time to play the instrument. We can be in beauty and love. And all it takes is presence and surrender. And I invite us today, as we go into our practice, to really be aware of particularly surrendering our own agenda, how we think things should be, even when we're very sure. Even when we're very sure how things should be, can we surrender them so that we can be in love and beauty? And let whatever needs to be done arise from that place. So let's practice together. Just beginning by letting all my words fall away. You can access them later in the video if you want to. And just settling into your own experience. Dropping in just like a pebble drops into a puddle. Instead of being outward, you are now in your own experience. And beginning to just notice your physical being. In the practice, it's important to try to not attempt to change anything. Let it be as it is and simply notice it. Notice your comfort or your discomfort. And then shifting to your inner experience. I always falter a little bit here about how to describe that, but just notice that I shift my awareness into some sort of space that I call inner, and that different sorts of experiences arise there. No images or deeper knowing, heart resonance, openness. And all the opposites of everything I just said. And again, not trying to change any of it. And then we're going to shift to our outer experience. And as you do that, I'll just share that I have found as I've developed this practice and practiced it myself, that this step is extremely important to place myself in the world, in the universe, while holding on to my own inner sense. When I'm able to place myself in the world, I feel a part of it, not separate. We start breaking down the walls of inner and outer. We can be both. Just get a sense of your experience of your space. What's it like to be there? Sounds, chair you're sitting in. And feel yourself here. I'm just noticing as I drop that word in that I feel some solidity in my being. I call that feeling here-ness. To experience my here. And a sister to here-ness is now. Only this moment. Here, now. That's stage one of our practice, and now we move to stage two, in which we deepen this presence that we can all feel developing, how much more present we are now. And then we take what we've built and deepen it. So feeling your feet on the floor, or your body in the chair, and then letting your awareness rest between your body and whatever it's coming into contact with. So holding your awareness in this one space, the interface between your body and the floor or the seat. And then begin to notice how the gravity that's centered in the heart of the earth is drawing you into itself. Deepening your here-ness, deepening your grounding, maybe even feeling more solid. Steady. And noticing that you are not doing this You are noticing that you're being acted upon. And this is what it feels like to be held. It's a great place to become aware of what I believe is the ultimate force in the universe, which is love. Another force that we are being acted upon, is acting upon us. We do not create love. We are love. We are in love. We're held by love. So in this moment, we notice love. And now we follow our body guide, the breath, imagining that it arises in the low belly, 3-finger breaths below the belly button. Finger breath, 3-finger breaths in. And just observe as the breath arises, comes fully to the bottom of the throat, and then is released back out and lands again in the low belly. And this is our teacher in surrendering. This is what can always remind us that we know how to let go. We might not choose to let go, we might not be ready to let go, but we know how. So just observe your body as it releases its breath. Noticing how your body trusts that the next breath is coming. There's no fear in the release as it knows what is fresh and new and needed is coming. And then when you feel stable here, whenever you feel ready, to let go of all of it. Not have to focus on anything. Just simply abandon yourself into love. The only thing you can do wrong here is struggle or want things to be different. If you don't experience the complete surrender and love, go back to watching your breath or go back to the experience of being held. It takes a lot of practice to fully surrender, even for a moment. Thank you all for practicing with me. And I know that our year of 2023 will be filled with challenges, surprises, lots of love, lots of grace, lots of beauty, and transformation. See you all next time.